Municipal Stadium, Kansas City, 1971. The 9th and final season of pro football in a stadium filled with memories for every Kansas City fan and for every Kansas City player. And in 1971, the miracle of television brought to the entire nation many more stirring memories of the Kansas City Chiefs. A pro football team whose history is synonymous with success. And a team that made its final year in Old Municipal Stadium not only a success, but truly a year to remember. It all began in sunny San Diego, where Hank Stram's Chiefs opened the season by racing to a 14-0 halftime lead over the Chargers. In the second half, the aroused Chargers turned the game around as San Diego quarterback John Hadl produced 3 second-half touchdowns to upset the Chiefs 21-14. The second week in Houston, 2 Oiler quarterbacks received equal treatment from the Kansas City defense as the Chiefs picked up their first victory of the season, 20-16. In Denver for week 3, the Chiefs picked off 4 more interceptions. And Bronco quarterback Don Horn was unable to generate a single touchdown. In fact, the game's only touchdown came about when Bobby Bell blitzed, and defensive end Aaron Brown found clear sailing all the way to the end zone as the Chiefs rolled past Denver 16-3. Week 4 brought the Kansas City home opener. And although the Chiefs had won 2 straight following their opening loss in San Diego, quarterback Len Dawson and the offense had not quite managed to get the attack together. Trailing 10-0 in their rematch with San Diego, Hank Stram's offense came alive. First with Jim Otis, the recently acquired 220-pound fullback from Ohio State. Then another Otis came alive. Wide receiver Otis Taylor, number 89. Third touchdown was added by Warren McVay as the Chiefs exploded for 31 straight points and avenged their only loss by running away from the Chargers 31-10. Game 5 brought the Pittsburgh Steelers in a Monday night national television audience. Len Dawson threw for 3 more touchdowns, including the 200th of his career and the first in the career of Hank Stram's top draft choice, Elmo Wright. But the story of the game was the phenomenal performance of Otis Taylor, who caught 6 passes for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns, as the Chiefs won their 4th straight victory, 38-16. Number 6 brought the red-hot Washington Redskins, the only unbeaten team in pro football. Coach George Allen, quarterback Billy Kilmer, and wide receiver Charlie Taylor engineered a first-half onslaught which had the Redskins looking unbeatable with a 17-6 halftime lead. In the fourth quarter, on 3rd and 18, Len Dawson turned to a big play Taylor of his own, Otis Taylor. Dawson then showed his increasing confidence in Elmo Wright, and Wright came through to tie the score at 20-20. In the final minutes, with the score still tied, Len Dawson threw deep for Otis Taylor. Taylor's great clutch play climaxed his second consecutive great game. Hangstram's Chiefs had won their 5th straight, and after 6 games, their record was as good as any in pro football.
Ever since Mobil 1 came along, other oil companies have tried to copy it to make a synthetic of their own. But if you take a look at how a copycat performs after some hard miles and compare it to new Mobil 1, it's obvious that all synthetics aren't alike. Today's Mobil 1 is tri-synthetic. It won't sludge up on you. It'll actually make your engine run smoother. The other stuff, not in my car.
Nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
It's the same in the automotive world as it is in the world of fashion. There are lots of models, but very few supermodels. Presenting the stylish luxury and race-inspired performance of the 1999 CL from Acura.
I expect a lot of my family. I expect Joe to get heartburn, Tony to get nausea, and Sarah indigestion at the mere sight of food. Instead, Joe would get indigestion, Tony diarrhea, and I'd end up with heartburn. I just keep first aid handy at all times.
Pepto-Bismol relieves more stomach problems than any of these other leading medicines.
I expect the unexpected.
Pepto-Bismol, first aid for heartburn, diarrhea, nausea, indigestion, upset stomachs.
Rogaine Extra Strength is proven to work for 4 out of 5 men.
I like my chances.
Only Rogaine has extra strength, and it's proven to stop hair loss or regrow hair. Rogaine Extra Strength, proven to work.
This is ESPN Classic.
You're watching ESPN Classic, the Classic Sports Network.
For Week 7, the Chiefs traveled to Oakland, where, as usual with the Raiders, it was a story of 3 quarterbacks. But this time, none of the 3 was able to accomplish much. It was a day for collecting bruises and not much more. The game ended in a tie, but the Chiefs lost their top runner, Ed Podolak, with a leg injury. And the following week in New York, the only Kansas City touchdown was scored by rookie running back Mike Adamle, number 32. The Chiefs lost to the Jets 13-10 and were suddenly out of first place for the first time since the opening week. Week number 9 brought the Cleveland Browns to Kansas City, and Len Dawson managed just enough offense to give the Chiefs their first win in 3 weeks, as the Chiefs squeezed by Cleveland 13-7. And Hangstram became only the 5th coach ever to achieve 100 regular season victories. Next came the rematch with Denver, and this time it was bombs away for Len Dawson in the offense. First to tight end Morris Stroud, the tallest target in pro football. Next, Dawson found Elmo Wright for one of the fanciest touchdowns of the year. Dawson's third touchdown pass was also a fancy catch by Jim Otis as the Chiefs dropped Denver for the 22nd time in 24 tries. 4 days later, on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit, Ed Podolak showed that his legs were completely healthy again as he ran for 3 touchdowns against the Lions. Detroit quarterback Greg Landry had a potent weapon of his own in All-Pro tight end Charlie Sanders, number 88. Sanders and the Lions outscored Podolak and the Chiefs 32-21. Week 12 found the Chiefs in San Francisco for a Monday night battle with the first-place 49ers. Len Dawson fired away for 263 yards against the tough San Francisco defense. And once again, one man stood out above all others, and that one man was Otis Taylor. Otis Taylor scored both Kansas City touchdowns as the Chiefs rolled past San Francisco 26-17. And then, finally, the showdown with Oakland for the Western Division title. And what better way to begin than by throwing to All-Pro Otis Taylor. As usual, the entire Kansas City front four gave Raider quarterback Daryle Lamonica a rough time. So rough that Oakland had to call on their old man of the miracle much earlier than usual, and George Blanda was ready with the experience of 22 years in pro football. But the Chiefs' defense was just as ready for George Blanda. The Chiefs led 13-7 until early in the fourth quarter, when George Blanda and Marv Hubbard drove the Raiders to the touchdown which gave Oakland the lead 14-13. The last chance for Len Dawson and the Chiefs came with 5 minutes left in the game, trailing by 14-13 and 93 yards from the Oakland goal. On 3rd and 10, Dawson found Otis Taylor in the crowd for 16 yards and a first down. 4 more times Dawson went for Taylor, and 4 more times the Chiefs advanced toward the Oakland goal. Finally, an interference penalty for tripping set the stage for place kicker Jan Stenerud. And after 3 runs into the line, on 4th and 1, Stenerud converted one of the most important kicks of his career. Leading by 2 points, the Chiefs' last moments of doubt were dispelled as George Blanda's final desperation pass was intercepted by Jim Kearney. The Chiefs had beaten the Raiders 16-14. They had won their 4th division title in 12 years. And as Coach Hank Stram stated after the game, "We have had a lot of great victories in our history, but this has to rate as one of the greatest."
Introducing the Bowflex Power Pro. Bowflex uses patented power rod resistance to give you an incredibly smooth, natural feel for over 60 different health club quality exercises. It's easy to see why a Bowflex was selected by Fitness Magazine as the best home gym. Call right now for your free video and brochure and discover the look you've always wanted with the Bowflex Power Pro.
Set your clock for good time and boogie!
And the minute our eyes hit, I knew she was Gladys Knight and I was the pimp.
Call now and get in all the good times with Good Times, now on home video.
I rated D for dang old man.
Henry, stop that nonsense before something falls off.
Call me a cup of coffee and make it like I like my man, hot, black, and strong.
Good Times, the Collector's Edition. Own 4 of the funniest episodes ever for just $4.95 plus shipping and handling.
I'm an Orange Keys. What I didn't know algebra before anyway. What am I, an Algerian?
So set your clock for Good Times on home video. Operators are standing by.
To get your first 4-episode video of Good Times, the Collector's Edition for only $4.95 plus shipping, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-754-0077. That's 1-800-754-0077.
You know all those stories you hear about how good it was and how much fun we had and how young we all used to be, about how much it all mattered and how much we all cared and how no one has ever done it higher or faster or harder or better. All those stories you hear, they're all true.
This is ESPN Classic.
Coach Hank Stram believes that you can't win consistently without a great defense. And in 1971, the Chiefs' defense was one of the best. At left defensive end was number 81, Marvin Upshaw, a tough man for a quarterback to avoid. Barging up the middle was left tackle Curly Culp, number 61, a rampaging barrel of dynamite. Fighting off the double team at right tackle was number 86, co-captain Buck Buchanan, 6 feet 7 inches of coiled steel. Flashing in from right end was number 87, Aaron Brown, one of the quickest linemen in the game. And a big new addition to the front 4 was number 99, rookie Wilbur Young, a 285-pound manhandler. Altogether, the Kansas City front 4 earned its reputation as one of the most devastating in all of pro football. Behind the line, the Chiefs had perhaps the best set of linebackers in the game. On the right was number 51, Jim Lynch, one of the most consistent performers in the league. In the middle was the Bear, All-Pro Willie Lanier, number 63, the AFC's Defensive Player of the Year. Left linebacker was perennial all-conference standout Bobby Bell, number 78, the best open field tackler in pro football. Of the defensive backs, one in particular tackled like a linebacker, number 46, strong safety Jim Kearney. Kearney also had 3 interceptions, as did all-conference cornerback Jim Marsalis, number 40. Number 42, free safety Johnny Robinson, intercepted 4. But the team leader was number 18, all-conference cornerback Emmett Thomas, with 8 interceptions, and the speed to turn an opponent's mistake into a Kansas City touchdown. On the special teams were 2 more all-conference selections, punter Gerald Wilson and place kicker Jan Stenerud, who scored more than 100 points for the 5th consecutive season. On offense, the tackles were steady Dave Hill and all-conference Jim Tyra, and inside were all-conference Ed Buddy at left guard, reliable Jack Rudney at center, and mighty Mo Mormon at right guard. These were the men who opened the way for the men who captured the headlines. Of course, with a man like Ed Podolak in the backfield, it made sense to get the ball to him in the open field and then let him wing it. Ed Podolak again led the Chiefs in total offense with more than 1,200 yards. But number 38, Wendell Hayes, was almost as effective. Always known as a good, tough yardage runner, Hayes proved that he can also hit the open holes with the best of them as he rolled up more than 700 total yards, his best year in pro football. Wendell Hayes and Ed Podolak, a highly proficient pair of pro running backs. Quarterback Len Dawson was the field marshal who made things go for the Chiefs. And Len Dawson was also the passer who accounted for more than 2,500 yards with a receiving corps which must be considered the most improved part of the entire team. Number 88, Morris Stroud, was a tight end with the speed to break a long gainer. In fact, Stroud averaged more than 20 yards per catch. Number 17, Elmo Wright, broke 3 collegiate receiving records at Houston. And as a Kansas City rookie, Wright accounted for well over 500 yards worth of excitement for the Chiefs. And of course, number 89. 57 catches for more than 1,100 yards, the most in pro football. A champion among champions, Otis Taylor.
This is Propecia, a pill that might interest you. Talk to your doctor and call 1-888-5-MERC-9 to see if you're eligible for a $10 rebate certificate. Propecia. There's no reason to wait.
Let's see, what's your favorite day?
Monday. No. Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
Ah, Wednesday.
Yeah, right. Here's a hint. And now, Fridays have some great new pastas. Sauteed toppings, delicate sauces, all tossed together in great big bowls. Goodness gracious, great bowls of pasta. At Fridays. What day was that again?
When you or someone you love is hospitalized, safety matters most. That's why doctors and hospitals choose Tylenol more than any other pain reliever. Tylenol. Take comfort in our strength.
I realized that Bailey was getting a little frustrated with his homework, especially his reading.
The best program I have found is Hooked on Phonics. The parent can pick it up and they can use it immediately.
Within just a couple of weeks, we were seeing an improvement in him.
Hooked on Phonics works.
Your child can be a better reader, and we can help. Use Hooked on Phonics and see the improvement in just 4 weeks, or your money back. We guarantee it.
Call to order Hooked on Phonics. Must be 18 or older. With your paid order, get the Start Right CD-ROM free. Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
counting down to number 1. 31 times he rallied for fourth quarter victories, 4 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs, 3 Super Bowl MVPs. The quintessential big game quarterback. The best pound-for-pound boxer of all time. Muhammad Ali calls him the king, the master, my idol. He was a true champion. ESPN Sports Century athlete number 25, Joe Montana at 7:30, and number 24, Sugar Ray Robinson at 10:30. Friday on ESPN. Presented by General Motors.
Christmas Day, the first playoff game ever held in Kansas City, and the last pro football game ever held in Municipal Stadium. The Western champion Chiefs against the Eastern champion Miami Dolphins. For once, the Chiefs' principal offensive weapon was not Otis Taylor, but Ed Podolak, who played the greatest game of his young career. Against Miami, Ed Podolak rolled up 350 yards in total offense, the second best game total ever recorded in pro football history. And with the aid of a crushing block by Mo Mormon, number 76, Podolak scored the game's first touchdown, which gave the Chiefs a 10-0 first quarter lead. In the third quarter, a second effort burst by Jim Otis set up another Kansas City touchdown. And in the fourth quarter, a sensational Len Dawson to Elmo Wright bomb set up a third Kansas City touchdown. Despite the heroics of Podolak, Otis, and Wright, Bob Griese kept bringing the Dolphins back with his passing to Paul Warfield. And with only a minute and a half to play, Griese found Marv Fleming for the touchdown which tied the score at 24. Ed Podolak took the ensuing kickoff and headed upfield. Podolak's great play set up a chance for Jan Stenerud to win the game with a field goal from the 32-yard line with only 35 seconds left to play. Kansas City and Miami were now participants in only the 4th sudden death overtime in pro football history. And to begin it, the Dolphins could not keep the kickoff away from Ed Podolak. But beyond Podolak's return, the Chiefs could not move well. And so it was up to the Kansas City defense.
Big down, big down, big down! Come on, Carly, get in! Come on, Ed, put some pressure on him now!
In the 6th period, with both teams exhausted, a counter play sprung Larry Zonka for his only good gain of the day. For Garo Yepremian and all of the Miami Dolphins, a moment of... For the Chiefs, a moment of horror. For every witness to the event, a moment forever crystallized in memory. In the longest pro football game ever played, Miami had defeated Kansas City 27-24. But this could not tarnish the glory of a season of triumph. A season in which Hank Stram had led his team to some of the greatest victories in their history, on their way to a 10-3-1 record and the Western Division title. 1971 had been a season of great plays, great players, and great victories. And the Chiefs could look forward to their new home at Arrowhead, knowing that the final season in their old home had truly been a year to remember.